It's time for another episode of Damien Ruins Horror Movies. My name is Damien. Long time no see. If you like the intro, that band is called the Whiskey Bats. You can find them on Spotify and download, or not download, but I don't know. You can listen to all their stuff. And then you can watch videos on YouTube. I think they're working on an album right now. As always, this episode is brought to you by Cool Dude Inc. And instead of doing movies, I've decided, because I talked to my 3 fans, the ones I look to for advice, Joel, Justin, and Beth, and I thought, what do you guys think of Tales from the Crypt? It didn't go down exactly like this, but I was like, what do you think about a Tales from the Crypt run? What if I just run through every episode? Because I own all the DVDs, except for the first one, which is in the mail, but I found that if you do want to watch this show, other than buying it, the only way to do it is to go to YouTube, which I put a link down, and I think it's got like every episode in one feed. The first one's only 6 episodes, so I bought these, I got a lot of them for Christmas, but I got them back when it was like $20 for a DVD set was kind of a lot of money, and so $20 for 6 episodes versus $20 for, like, I don't know, usually I think they're like 18 episodes a season, something like that. I could be wrong. Season 2 is 18 episodes. So I think they're between 15 and 20. But I ordered it. I found it on eBay for $5. And that's $5 when all is said and done. That's like after tax, after shipping, after all that. I know this isn't actually a Tales from the Crypt comic, but it's the same EC company. I try and pick these up whenever I run across them, whenever I go to comic store. I had 2. It's funny because you can have one Tales from the Crypt comic, and when I look back, it's like, I used to have a bunch of comics. Like, no, I didn't. I had 2. But there were so many stores there, it felt like you had a lot of comics. And these are the best. The comic book store I go to these are actual books. There's like 5. Like, there's a lot of stuff in here. That one, I used to have that one. That was a good issue. But these are really, they have the library, but these are like $50 a piece. I've seen them at like comic conventions and toy conventions, and I've always wanted a big collection. The comic book store by my house has like a library of them. Like, but I don't want to spend $500 on comics. I'm a grown-up. So we're starting with the first episode. So one thing I noticed right away is there's no intro, and the Crypt Keeper is like really mellow. Like he's just woken up. Like he's going to get more and more over the top as the series goes. But it is funny to watch him just be all like laid back. Like he just woke up from his little Crypt Keeper nap. And the story is about an executioner. His name is Niles. And it is funny because like the cover of this story that they show at the beginning has the spoiler in it. Niles is the juicer. Niles pulls the lever when people are going to the electric chair. And immediately, there's a voiceover of him talking. And he just shuts down the whole, like, if you've seen Faces of Death, it's fucked up. I was in the 3rd or 4th grade. I went to a friend's house and we watched Faces of Death. And his parents sat in the room with us. But one of the clips is a guy in an electric chair with like tape over his eyes so his eyes don't pop out, and like, but everything I saw in this video, Niles immediately just like says, yeah, none of that happens. He doesn't actually reference Face of the Death, but he's like, yeah, none of that happens. Your eyeballs don't come out. They don't bleed. Because in the Face of the Death video, like, there was blood coming out. Like, it looked like his eyeballs were fighting that tape. And it's like all this, like, crap was building up in his mouth. And you saw it, and it's horrific. It's like, Jesus. I'm not going to kill anybody. I'm not going to go through that. But Niles claims electricity is clean. It's the most humane way to kill somebody. And Niles just has kind of a taste for it. He likes frying people. He's not even mean about it going into it. He's just kind of like, hey, man, we're going to fry you. He acts like he does the people a favor. You're getting executed later, right? Okay, cool. I'll take care of you. But one day they execute the wrong guy. because it turns out the guy, this is one of the big arguments against the death penalty, is what if the guy was innocent? What if we find out later the guy didn't do it and now he's dead? If somebody's sitting on death row, if somebody doing life in prison, you find new evidence, you can just, you go back to your life. But if you've killed them, it's a little trickier. And all of a sudden, like, people they're banding together. They want to get rid of the death penalty. Nobody should be fried. And Niles thinks the opposite, though. He thinks that not only should they keep frying people, they should televise it. If they televised it, crime would go down. People would see that, and they'd feel like me and be like, not doing it. You know, like, I've watched enough movies about people getting off heroin that I would never try heroin, because, like, I don't care how good that feels. In fact, I'm scared it would feel good, but I'm not going through that withdrawal process. And the same thing's kind of like the electric chair. It's like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't hate anybody enough to get the electric chair for them. Fuck you. And maybe pulling that switch and killing people, I don't know, maybe it takes away the value of human life, or maybe it makes you less human. But Niles decides he's gonna keep, he becomes like a combination of like the Punisher or Jigsaw or Dexter, where he's gonna go out, he goes out and starts electrocuting people, criminals, people, evil doers. At some point he goes to a strip club, because once you start like putting people under this microscope and judging people a certain way, you can't shut it off. You know, like the Fool Killer. The Fool Killer went through that in issue 6. I love Fool Killer comics. Probably not even heard of it. Fool Killer's a guy, he ran around and he killed fools, but after about 6 issues of doing it, he started getting these like things in his head, this guilty conscience, and he's like, fuck. You know, all of a sudden, like, the definition of a fool kept growing. It's like, well, what if everybody's a fool? Do I just start killing everybody? Like, you know, he couldn't shut it off, and this guy couldn't shut it off either. He's in a strip club at some point, and we get some boobage. Well, it's not like full-on boobage, but still, you know, it's for what's to come, because this show was made for cable, so they didn't have to censor anything out. It was like watching a movie, except quicker. But eventually he gets caught. They find out he's been killing these people, and he gets locked up. And as a plot twist, like every good Tales from the Crypt episode has, his wish comes true. They've reinstated the death penalty. The electric chair is back. Unfortunately for him, though, he's the first that gets to sit in it. And he gets fried. It's kind of a hard pill for him to swallow, though, as he's going to the electric chair. Because, like, all this shit he talked, the chicken shits on their way to the chair. Because it is funny when you watch movies about people going to the electric chair. They're kind of like, they're very stoic. They're just kind of like, they accept it. Like, here's my last meal. They're silent. But in this, when they're walking for the electric chair, they're like, they're dragging them, kicking and screaming. They're like, no, I don't want to. I'm sorry. I got it. And then finally, Niles ends up being in that same boat. He got to judge these guys for so long, and now that he's in their shoes, he's like, wait a minute. So he has like that falling down Michael Douglas moment of like, wait, when did I become the bad guy? And they drag him, and they kill him. And that wraps up the episode. So go out and watch some Tales from the Crypt. Hit the link below where you can watch it on YouTube for free. And, you know, go on this little journey with me. Because next is episode 2. Oh, I just remember. I went to the grocery store earlier and I was wearing this shirt. And I got to the can. It's my Night of the Living Dead Part 2. And I was in the canned food aisle. And I hear this voice from behind me go, brains. I was like, Brian. And I just started laughing. And this dude, I've never met him before. He was just like, that's a fucking good movie. He was funny. We talked for a little bit. Funny guy. That's the second time at that store that I run into something, because another time I was wearing my Halloween shirt. No, I was wearing my Jaws shirt, and the guy was wearing the same Halloween shirt as me, and he was like, oh, nice shirt. It's always cool to meet people like that. All right. I will see you guys next time.